Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to another video today. My name is Chris, and as you can see, we have a whole bunch of Sears hometown locations that are going to be unfortunately shutting down. So first, we started out with 58. The number increased to 67, and then the most recent location closing video I did was 72. So now, guys, we are at 98. That's right, 98 Sears hometown locations that will unfortunately be shutting down. And this might not even be the list. It might just be a couple more added on. But right now, just under 100 Sears hometown locations have unfortunately announced that they will be shutting down. So, with that being said, we're going to go over every single location on this list. So, these are all Sears hometown locations closing between May, June, and July of 2022. So, without further ado, let's get started. So we have the following locations that will be closing: the Sears hometown store in Victoria, Texas; the Sears hometown store in Lake City, South Carolina; the Sears hometown store in Escanaba, Michigan; the Sears hometown location in Moses Lake, Washington State; the Sears hometown location in Robinson, Illinois; the Sears hometown store in Truckee, California; the Sears hometown store in Cambridge, Minnesota; the Sears hometown store in Taos, New Mexico; the Sears hometown store in Iona, Michigan; the Sears hometown store in League City, Texas; the Sears hometown store in Cypress, Texas; the Sears hometown store in Hamilton, Montana, which used to have a Kmart discount department store; the Sears hometown store in Gunnison, Colorado; the Sears hometown store in Green Valley, Arizona; the Sears hometown store in Cheyenne, Wyoming; the Sears hometown store in La Grande, Oregon; the Sears hometown store in Huntington, Michigan; the Sears hometown store in Pampa, Texas; the Sears hometown store in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma; the Sears hometown store in Elizabeth City, North Carolina; the Sears hometown store in Logan, Ohio; the Sears hometown store in Helena, Montana, which had a Kmart at one point, I believe; the Sears hometown store in Arlington, Texas; the Sears hometown store in Keokuk, Iowa; the Sears hometown store in Tallmadge, Wisconsin; the Sears hometown store in Alice City, Texas; the Sears hometown store in Eddington, North Carolina; the Sears hometown store in Fallon, Nevada; the Sears hometown store in Cleveland, Texas; the Sears hometown store in Grass Valley, California, which had a Kmart discount department store at one point; the Sears hometown store in Parker, Arizona; the Sears hometown store in Sunnyside, Washington State; the Sears hometown store in Waynesboro, Mississippi; the Sears hometown store in Batesville, Arkansas; the Sears hometown store in Niceville, Florida; the Sears hometown store in Derby City, Vermont; the Sears hometown store in Waterloo, Illinois; the Sears hometown store in Farmington, Missouri; the Sears hometown store in Newton, Kansas; the Sears hometown store in Georgetown, South Carolina; the Sears hometown store in Gallipolis, Ohio; the Sears hometown store in Plymouth, Indiana; the Sears hometown store in Jessup, Georgia; the Sears hometown store in Englewood, Florida; the Sears hometown store in Washington, Missouri; the Sears hometown store in Greenfield, Indiana; the Sears hometown store in Pasadena, Texas; the Sears hometown store in San Marcos, Texas; the Sears hometown store in Colby, Kansas; the Sears hometown store in Cleveland, Mississippi; the Sears hometown store in Polar Bluff, Missouri; the Sears hometown store in Paris, Texas; the Sears hometown store in Kingman, Arizona; the Sears hometown store in Shawnee, Oklahoma; the Sears hometown store in Arcadia, Florida; the Sears hometown store in St. Mary, Georgia; the Sears hometown store in Luling, Louisiana; the Sears hometown store in Marshall, Minnesota; the Sears hometown store in Caryville, Texas; the Sears hometown store in Rivers Fall, Wisconsin; the Sears hometown store in Cody, Wyoming; the Sears hometown store in Henderson, North Carolina; the Sears hometown store in Fort Stockton, Texas; the Sears hometown store in Mineola, Texas; the Sears hometown store in Potsdam, New York; the Sears hometown store in Knox, Indiana; the Sears hometown store in Lakeport, California; the Sears hometown store in Paris, Tennessee; the Sears hometown store in Kilmarnock, Virginia; the Sears hometown store in Friday Harbor, Washington; the Sears hometown store in Manhattan, Kansas; the Sears hometown store in New Bern, North Carolina; the Sears hometown store in Minnesota, Louisiana; the Sears hometown store in Forest City, Arkansas; the Sears hometown store in Heber Springs, Arkansas; the Sears hometown store in Mountain View, Arkansas; the Sears hometown store in Nashville, Arkansas; the Sears hometown store in West Memphis, Arkansas; the Sears hometown store in Cannon City, Colorado; the Sears hometown store in Carrollton, Georgia; the Sears hometown store in East Elijah, Georgia; the Sears hometown store in Clarinda, Iowa, the Sears Hometown Store in Marshalltown, Iowa, the Sears Hometown Store in Winfield, Kansas, the Sears Hometown Store in Eunice, Louisiana, the Sears Hometown Store in Butte, Montana, the Sears Hometown Store in Libby, Montana, the Sears Hometown Store in Van Wert, Ohio, the Sears Hometown Store in Jacamao, Puerto Rico, the Sears Hometown Store in Del Rio, Texas, the Sears Hometown Store in Eagle Pass, Texas, the Sears Hometown Store in Mexico, Texas, the Sears Hometown Store in Sweetwater, Texas, the Sears Hometown Store in Wichita Falls, Texas, the Sears Hometown Store in Burlington, Wisconsin, and finally the Sears Hometown Store in Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. So there you go, guys. Approximately 98 Sears Hometown locations closing, and this list could very well grow within the next 24 hours or so. And if that does happen, I'll make sure to make an updated video on this. But approximately 98, just under 100 Sears and Hometown locations that will unfortunately be shutting down. So, and I will not be linking every store in this video because it takes up a lot of space, and I'm better off just linking the link to the list. It just makes it easier, and it's a better way for people to read the list. Yes, and this list has been updated as of Saturday, May 28th, 2022. So, anyways, guys, thank you again for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed this video, and that will be it.